Tears are rolling down their cheeks because they've discovered something so powerful, so life-altering, that they can't help but be overwhelmed. Now, those aren't tears of sorrow. They're tears of transformation. Pay close attention to them, because in the next few minutes, you're about to discover why this group of crying people holds the key for you to break free from the chains of bad luck, negativity, and opening your life to a flood of wealth, abundance, and success almost effortlessly in just 37 seconds a day. Hi, I've been waiting for you, and it's about time you arrived. The reason you're watching this leaked footage is because the universe has heard your prayers and prepared this special gift for you. So in just a moment, you'll find out the secret behind why no matter how much effort you put in, or how many times you try, your debt keeps piling up and you're still struggling to make ends meet. Well, here's the thing I need to let you know. It's not your fault. In fact, when bad things happen to you, you have the right to feel angry. You have the right to feel wronged. Here's why. Because the real problem is that you've been downright lied to for years. And those lies are keeping you from achieving the life you deserve. Lies such as, life is hard, and that's just the way it is. Or, no matter how hard you work, you'll never be rich. That's fate. I bet you've heard it before from people around you, and maybe even believed it at one point in your life. Yet this is not even close to the truth. Now listen, it's not a coincidence that you're here today. It's because God sent His angels to bring you a great financial blessing. You'll never run out of money, luck, and abundance in your life again. God sent His angels to bless your family, your home, and your financial life so that your energy of money will be permanent and infinite in your wallet and in your bank. And in just a moment, I'll reveal to you a powerful yet little-known 37-second prayer that's able to attract financial prosperity easily in your life. All you need to do is recite this script with me, and you'll start seeing amazing miracles appearing in your life. Now, you don't have to believe me. You just have to experience it for yourself later. Hello, dear one. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Pastor Paul Fletcher, a title that still feels surreal. People seek my wisdom, invite me to speak at religious gatherings, and look up to me for guidance. But it wasn't always this way. In fact, I used to be the last person you'd expect to fill this role. I was a skeptic, a non-believer. I didn't buy into the idea of a higher power, manifestation, or any of that woo-woo stuff. I thought life was just a series of random events, and we were all just along for the ride. Growing up, my family struggled to make ends meet. Every day felt like a battle for survival. My parents worked tirelessly, often taking on multiple jobs just to put food on the table and keep a roof over our heads. Despite their relentless efforts, it seemed like the universe had conspired against us. We faced one financial setback after another. Medical bills, unexpected repairs, and layoffs became the norm. Seeing my parents' sacrifices and the constant stress etched on their faces, I adopted their worldview. Life was harsh. I believed that if I would just work harder, I could change our fate. But no matter how hard I tried, nothing seemed to go right. After finishing school, I entered the workforce with high hopes. I took a 9-to-5 job, thinking it would be the first step toward a stable and successful career. But the reality was far different. The pay was miserable, barely enough to cover my living expenses, let alone save for the future. Each payday, I felt a mix of relief and frustration, knowing that despite all my efforts, I was still barely scraping by. Now, have you ever had a boss who made you feel like nothing you did was ever good enough? Because I did, and it was horrible. You see, my work environment was toxic. The bosses were demanding, demeaning, and utterly unsupportive. They seemed to take pleasure in pointing out every mistake, no matter how small, while rarely acknowledging any hard work or successes. I remember staying late countless nights, hoping my dedication would be noticed. Instead, I was met with more criticism and unrealistic expectations, which left me feeling unappreciated and demoralized. Adding to the toxicity were the betrayals from colleagues I thought were my friends, who turned out to be competitors, eager to climb the corporate ladder at any cost. I confided in one coworker about my struggles, only to find out later she'd shared my private concerns with management, painting me as weak and unreliable. This led to further alienation and mistrust in the workplace, making it harder to find any solace or support. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, they did. The constant stress and disappointment from my job took a toll on my personal life. I became irritable and distant, struggling to find joy in anything. My wife Julie looked down on me, constantly comparing me to her friends' husbands. "Why can't you be more like Sarah's husband? He earns enough to take her on vacations," she would say, her words cutting deep. "Maybe if you worked harder, we wouldn't be struggling so much," she'd remark during arguments about money. Her complaints and lack of support only added to my frustration and bitterness, causing a strain between us, and the strain became too much. Eventually, we grew apart. Love turned into resentment, and our marriage crumbled. The final blow came when Julie decided to prevent me from seeing my daughter. She believed that my failures and the negativity that surrounded me would be harmful to our child. "I don't want her to grow up thinking that this is normal," she declared. Can you imagine the pain I have to go through? To be separated from someone I love deeply? I fought hard to prove that I could be a good father, but the legal battles drained me emotionally and financially. The pain of being separated from my daughter was unbearable. Every missed birthday, every milestone I couldn't share, felt like another failure added to the pile. Desperate for a change, I decided to leave the 9-to-5 grind and start my own business. I poured my heart and soul into every venture, but each one ended in failure. My first business, a small retail store, was crushed by competition from a major retailer. My online startup faced technical issues and market saturation, leaving me in debt. It felt like an invisible barrier was blocking my path to success, as if the universe was against me. Have you ever felt like you were destined for failure no matter what you tried? Despite my efforts, the universe seemed to mock me. I began to question if there was something inherently wrong with me. Why did it seem like others could achieve their dreams effortlessly, while I was stuck in a cycle of struggle and disappointment? Failed businesses, broken relationships, separated from my daughters. The only companions I have was an overwhelming sense of hopelessness. The idea of a higher power or that my thoughts could somehow shape my reality seemed ridiculous. In fact, I was on the verge of giving up. It was during one of those bleak nights that I met him, the guy who would change the trajectory of my life forever. He was an old man with a serene presence that starkly contrasted with the grim surroundings. Draped in simple robes, he had an aura of tranquility that drew me in. I was huddled under a thin blanket, shivering from the cold when he approached me. He didn't introduce himself, but for the sake of this story, let's call him John. "Mind if I sit here?" John asked, his voice a gentle whisper. I shrugged, too defeated to object. He sat down beside me, and for a few moments we sat in silence. Then he began to speak. "You seem lost, my friend," he said, his eyes filled with compassion. "The world can be a harsh place, but sometimes what we need is a shift in perspective." I scoffed. "Perspective won't put a roof over my head or food in my stomach." He smiled, unfazed by my bitterness. "Perhaps not directly, but it can open doors you never knew existed." With that, he reached into his satchel and pulled out a small, weathered scroll. "This," he said, "is an ancient prayer script. It's been passed down through generations, believed to hold the power to change one's life. It's not about manifestation. It has nothing to do with the law of attraction either. It doesn't matter what religion you identify with, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, or none at all. Because it's about connecting yourself with the celestials." I stared at the scroll, skepticism warring with curiosity. "And you think this will solve all my problems?" "Listen," I said, frustrated. "Everything I do seems to fail. I work hard, I try my best, but nothing is working out. Losing money, I am uncomfortable all the time, and I just don't see a way forward." He smiled. What he told me next blew my mind. Paul, the reason for your never-ending suffering is due to karmic debts. These are consequences from past actions that you must now face, and there's no way to cleanse this debt. No matter how religious you are, no matter what manifestation methods you use or brainwave sounds you listen to, nothing will change this. And it doesn't matter how many kind acts you perform. The truth is karmic debts just don't work this way. They're an unavoidable part of your journey. This is why so many people suffer despite the abundance of manifestation products and promises of easy fixes. Your struggles are the result of these karmic debts, and there's no escaping them. This is the harsh reality you must face, but now there is a way out. John leaned closer and continued. The way out lies in this ancient prayer script. This script holds the power to guide you through your karmic debts and bring you to a place of abundance and fulfillment. The celestials, the divine messengers, have infused this prayer with their essence, John said, his eyes sparkling with a knowing glint. When spoken with conviction and faith, the words summon the divine presence, channeling abundance, peace, and prosperity into our lives. I took the scroll as he handed it to me. The words on the parchment were like nothing I'd ever read before. They spoke of a universe that was interconnected and alive. Even though it was the first time I chanted the prayer script, I felt an overwhelming wave of warmth and peace. It was like a heavy weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My mind, which had been filled with worry and doubt, suddenly became clear and calm. I turned to thank John, but to my surprise, he was nowhere to be found. It was like he had vanished into thin air. I looked around, bewildered, but there was no sign of him. It was as if he never existed. I felt a shiver run down my spine, wondering if I'd imagined the whole encounter. But as I looked down at the prayer script in my hand, I knew that our meeting was real. The next few days, nothing changed. I continued to sleep on the same bench with not much food to eat. Each morning I woke up to the same harsh reality, and it was tempting to give up on the prayer script altogether. The skepticism that had initially greeted John's words began to creep back in, and I wondered if I had been foolish to hope for a miracle. Yet despite my doubts, I kept chanting the prayer every single day. Each chant seemed to lift a tiny piece of weight from my shoulders. The act of chanting became a ritual, a steady anchor to the chaos of my life. I also clung to the memory of John's eyes, filled with compassion and a knowing glint. His words echoed in my mind. I needed to get rid of all my karmic debts before I can see results. Just at that moment, I felt a sudden sense of a great calm again, similar to the one I felt when I first spoke to John. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, because a few days later, I received a check in the mail for $1,000 from an insurance company I had forgotten I had even had a policy with. The letter explained that it was a refund for an overpayment I made years ago. I was stunned. I'd been struggling to pay my rent, and this unexpected windfall covered 2 months' worth of payments. The next day, while walking to the grocery store, I spotted a crumpled up $100 bill on the sidewalk. I picked it up, thinking someone must have lost it. But as I looked around, I realized I was alone on the street. I shrugged it off as a lucky find and used it to buy groceries for the week. A week later, I received a letter from a law firm that I'd never heard of. They informed me that a distant great-uncle I had never met had passed away, leaving me a small inheritance of $15,000. I was shocked because I'd never known I'd had a great-uncle, let alone one who was wealthy enough to leave me such a substantial sum. As the weeks went by, more unexpected financial blessings came my way. I found $50 on the bus, received a refund from a company I'd long forgotten I'd done business with, and even won a small prize in a local contest I'd entered on a whim. It was as if the universe was conspiring to help me out of my financial struggles. As I kept reciting the prayer every day, I felt more connected to something greater than myself. I felt like the prayer was a bridge to a source of endless blessings and guidance. And whatever I asked for, I received. similar to what is known in the Bible. In Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 and 8, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. I noticed that I became luckier. It seemed like everything I did went very smoothly. Opportunities that had once seemed impossible began to appear out of nowhere. And trust me, it wasn't just about getting money, although it's extremely important. It's also about feeling a deep sense of peace and assurance that I was being looked after by a divine presence. In another incredible turn of events, my ex-wife Julie, who had been adamant about keeping me away from our daughter, reached out to me. She said she'd noticed a change in me and was willing to give me another chance to be a part of their lives. Reconnecting with my daughter was a dream come true. The joy of being a father again and the bond we rebuilt filled my heart with the fulfillment I'd longed for. As my wealth, luck, and success grew, so did my interest in spiritual materials. I began to delve deeper into the scriptures, reading books on faith and spirituality, seeking a deeper understanding of the divine. However, despite all the success and spiritual exploration, I felt something strange. Even though I had everything I wanted, money, success, love, and all that, I started feeling empty inside. It was like something was missing. One night, I was working late in my home, reflecting on the incredible turnaround in my life. Suddenly, a brilliant light filled the room. I turned around, and there stood John. But he wasn't the John I'd met at the park. He had magnificent wings attached to his back, shimmering with an ethereal glow. "Paul," he said, his voice resonating with celestial harmony, "I've been sent to you from the celestial. I am an archangel, and my mission was to guide you through your darkest hours." I stood there speechless as John continued, his wings shimmering in the soft light of my office. The room, once filled with symbols of my success, awards, certificates, and luxurious decor, now felt hollow and insignificant. "You were chosen for a greater purpose, and the trials you faced were to prepare you for what lies ahead. Your faith and perseverance have brought you to a place of abundance, and now it's time for you to use your blessings to help others find their way." And to answer your deepest question, the reason you're unfulfilled is because you are destined to be a giver. You need to give and share your gifts to help people. I sank into the leather chair behind my desk, my mind racing. "But I've given so much already," I protested weakly. "I've donated to charities, gave money to friends and family. What more can I do?" John smiled, a knowing look in his eyes. "It's not just about giving money or favors. It's about giving yourself, your time, your compassion, your love. It's about connecting with others on a deeper level, understanding their pain and joys, and sharing your journey with them." With that, John began to fade, his wings folding around him like a protective cocoon. "Remember," he said, his voice echoing softly, "you are never alone on this journey. I will always be with you, guiding you, supporting you." And then it suddenly hit me. "John," I called out, hoping he was still there somewhere. "What am I meant to give? What is my true calling?" His voice, gentle yet firm, echoed back, "You are destined to be a pastor. Your path is one of spiritual guidance, of helping others find their own light. This is how you will repay your karmic debts." The revelation struck me like a lightning bolt. A pastor? It made sense now. The emptiness, the yearning for something more meaningful. I was meant to lead, to guide, to help others navigate their own spiritual journeys. From that moment, I dedicated myself to helping others. My mission was clear, to create a community where we support each other in this journey of spiritual and material success, and thus, Celestial Connection was born. A divine prayer script that connects you to the sacred celestials, which allows us to call upon the energy of the universe and manifest our own reality. This script is by far the most reliable way to increase your wealth and transform your life. As soon as you gain access to Celestial Connection, you'll be astounded by the results, because you can finally pay off those bills that have been stacking up. You can experience better health and vitality, and you can spend more time with your loved ones. Here's the best part. You'll be astonished by how fast and simple it is to use this system. You might be thinking, I'm not a spiritual expert. Can I really make this work? Absolutely. The beauty of Celestial Connection lies in its simplicity and profound spiritual power. You don't need any prior experience with prayer scripts and spiritual practices. Here's how effortlessly you can integrate it into your daily routine. As soon as you purchase Celestial Connection, you'll receive instant access to the prayer script. It's in a convenient digital format so you can have it with you anytime, anywhere. Just a few clicks and you're ready to start your divine journey. Here's the truly magical part. Celestial Connection only takes 37 seconds. That's right, just 37 seconds a day to align with the divine and attract abundance into your life. The prayers and affirmations are designed to be straightforward and powerful. You can recite them in the morning, during a break, or before bed. It fits seamlessly into your life no matter how busy you are. Feel the shift. This is where the magic happens. As you consistently use Celestial Connection, you'll start to feel a positive shift in your energy and luck. The divine alignment and karmic cleansing will begin attracting abundance, wealth, and success into your life. Imagine waking up each day feeling more connected, successful, and at peace. Your dreams are within reach. Imagine, in just 37 seconds a day, you can unlock a world of wealth, abundance, and divine connection. No complicated rituals, no extensive time commitments, just a few moments, and you'll be on your way to a more abundant and fulfilling life. That's it. It really doesn't get any easier than this. In fact, I don't want you to just take my word for it. Here are just a few stories from those who have experienced the magic of Celestial Connection.
I never thought I would be sharing my story publicly, but my experience with the Celestial Connection has been nothing short of miraculous. As a woman in my late 40s, I've lived through my fair share of challenges, but nothing could have prepared me for the betrayal I faced last year. After 21 years of marriage, I discovered that my husband, the man I trusted and loved, was cheating on me with my good friend. To make matters worse, he had stolen all of our savings and left me with a mountain of debt. I was devastated, alone, and I felt like I had lost everything that mattered to me. At my age, starting over seemed impossible. A dear friend of mine, seeing my despair, told me about the Celestial Connection. Initially, I was skeptical. I had always considered myself a practical woman, not one to rely on prayers or spiritual practices. But I was desperate and decided to give it a try. I began with simple, heartfelt prayers to the Celestial Connection, seeking guidance and strength. Within a few weeks, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. Opportunities started to present themselves, and I reconnected with an old passion of mine, painting. I even began selling my artwork online, which filled me with joy and pride. The financial strain started to ease as the profits kept increasing. But the most delightful surprise came when I least expected it. Through a mutual friend at a local art show, I met Robert, a kind and gentle soul who had also been through his own share of heartache. We bonded over our shared experiences and a love for the arts. Our friendship blossomed into something beautiful, and for the first time in years, I felt warmth of true companionship. Robert has shown me that it's never too late to find love and happiness. The prayers and affirmations have become a daily ritual, grounding me and giving me the courage to face each new day. My journey hasn't been easy, but the Celestial Connection has been my guiding light through the darkest times. I've learned to forgive, to let go of the pain, and to embrace the future with hope and confidence. To anyone who feels lost or broken, I encourage you to open your heart to the Celestial Connection. It changed my life, and it can change yours too.
I was trapped in a cycle of bad luck, struggling to make ends meet and being betrayed by those I trusted. But after discovering the Celestial Connection prayer, everything changed. I learned to trust in the universe and its powers. Today, I'm living a life of abundance, wealth, and financial freedom. Heck, I even won the lottery, which I never thought was possible. More importantly, I found purpose, meaning, and joy. The Celestial Connection empowered me to create my own luck and success. So if you're struggling, I encourage you to try it. It will transform your life in ways you never thought possible.
Now, you might wonder why I'm charging $67 for the Celestial Connection. Let me explain the deeper reasoning behind the price. Firstly, the $67 investment is a symbolic commitment to your own growth and transformation. When you invest in yourself, you're telling the universe that you are serious about making a change. This commitment is crucial because true transformation requires dedication and faith. The act of investing in the Celestial Connection prayer script signifies that you're ready to embrace the abundance and success that awaits you. Secondly, the funds generated are reinvested into the community and the mission of Celestial Connection. This includes supporting community initiatives. We use the funds to support community initiatives that align with our mission of spreading abundance and success. Development of resources to continually enhance the value we provide. We invest in developing new resources, tools, and materials that can aid our members on their journey. This ensures that everyone in our community has access to the latest and most effective spiritual and practical guidance. Charitable contributions. A portion of the proceeds is donated to charitable causes that uplift and support those in need. This is in alignment with the principle of giving and ensures that the blessings we receive are shared with those who are less fortunate. Look at these kids. Their bellies empty and their faces drawn with hunger. Their clothes are worn out and their eyes are filled with sadness. They look at the passing people with hope, hoping for a kind of soul to offer them food or help. It's only with our donation they'll be able to live better lives. Now, you might wonder why Celestial Connection can't help those poor kids. It's because they're not part of the divine plan or chosen by the Celestials. You see, each person has their own special journey, like a unique path laid out for them by the universe. These kids, even though they need help, are meant to learn important lessons on their own. The divine trusts that others like us will step in to assist them through charities and organizations. That's why, even though the Celestial Connection can't directly help them, we can still make a big difference in their lives. By showing kindness and lending a hand, we become channels of divine love and support. Remember, true fulfillment comes not from what you possess, but from what you give. Click on the button below to claim Celestial Connection and help contribute to the poor kids who are in need. My heart is in this mission because I've walked the path from despair to abundance, and I know how powerful the Celestial Connection can be. My greatest fulfillment comes from seeing lives transformed, from hearing stories of success, and from witnessing the growth of our community. I sincerely invite you to take this step of faith and join our community. Experience the power of the 37-second prayer. Become part of a movement that's making a real difference, and help us spread light to those who need it most. Your journey to a life filled with miracles and blessings starts here. Now, be honest with yourself. At this moment in your life, do you have all the comforts, money, love, and happiness you want? In fact, the longer you wait, the more you risk staying stuck in your current struggles. Each day you delay, you're missing out on the miracles and transformations waiting for you. Imagine going through the same financial difficulties, the same lack of fulfillment, the same obstacles in your path. And here's Alex, who rejected Celestial Connection after he was given the chance to claim it.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex, and I want to share something really important with you today. It's a story of missed opportunities, deep regret, and the harsh reality of life. Not so long ago, I had the chance to change my life with something called Celestial Connection, a powerful prayer script that promised to connect me with celestial beings and divine forces, but I rejected it, and that decision led me down a path of unimaginable hardship. You see, I thought it was too good to be true, too far-fetched to be real, so I let it slip through my fingers, thinking I could manage on my own. But let me tell you something, my friends. That was the biggest mistake of my life. 3 days after I rejected the celestial connection, my good friend of 27 years died in a car accident. It felt like my world was collapsing around me, and a week later, my sister needed money for an emergency surgery. I worked hard to save enough to help her, and just when I've gathered enough, I was notified I was getting sacked. I lost my job, my source of income, and my ability to support my sister when she needed me most. It felt like I was cursed with bad luck, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. But here's the thing, my friends. It's never too late to turn things around. Despite all the pain and the regrets, I've come to realize that there is still hope. The celestial connection, the prayer scripts that once dismissed, is still out there, waiting for anyone who is willing to reach out and grab it. And let me tell you, my friends, it can truly change your life. So please don't make the same mistake I did. Don't let doubt or skepticism hold you back from something that could bring so much light and positivity into your life. Trust me when I say this, the celestial connection is real, and it has this power. It has this power to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. So go ahead, my friends. Take that first step. Embrace the opportunity and open yourself to the infinite possibilities that await you. Your life will never remain the same again. Trust me.
As you can see, delaying your decision to embrace the celestial connection could mean going through unnecessary struggles. On the other hand, by claiming your celestial connection today, you're making a powerful statement that you are ready to receive the abundance and success you deserve. Now here's the thing. You, my friend, are chosen. Yes, you. The divine has singled you out for a special purpose, a divine mission to bring light and abundance into the world. While others may have wealth and resources, they lack the spiritual calling that you possess. Think about it. If it were just about money, I could easily offer this program to millionaires or billionaires eager to multiply their net worth. But even if I wanted to, they couldn't participate. Why? Because they're not chosen. They are not destined to see the profound truths and blessings that the celestial connection offers. Just like those starving children in Africa, they're not destined for this path. But unlike them, you are destined for something greater. You are chosen to be a beacon of hope and transformation, attracting wealth and luck, spreading love and abundance wherever you go. In fact, in the Bible, Malachi 3:10 states, "Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need." This powerful promise invites us to trust in God's provision and assures us of overflowing blessings, just as God invites us to test His promise of provision. I invite you to test the power of Celestial Connection. By investing in this program, you're stepping out in faith, just as God encourages us to do. You're putting the principles of abundance and divine provision to the test in your own life. So right now, believe in yourself and the universe. Follow the system, recite the prayer script, and start seeing results as early as tonight. Now, with all that being said, I want you to pause and think about this for a second. Picture yourself waking up every morning full of energy and vitality. Imagine having the ability to live a life without financial worries, to be able to pay off all your debts and have extra cash to buy the things you want, to be able to give a supporting hand if any of your friends or family members are facing financial difficulties. Sounds amazing, right? Well, that's exactly what Celestial Connection can do for you. So go ahead and let the universe help you by clicking the button below right now. Listen, there are really only two choices you can make now. One, you can either forget about everything that I mentioned here, hit the back button. However, I need to remind you that by rejecting your chance to claim this prayer script, you risk facing undesirable effects. Continue to struggle with money and continue to blame life for bad things that happen to you. Or two, you can take fast action right now and get instant access to this program that can truly give you the life that you've always wanted. And you can do that just by clicking the Access Now button below. Remember, you're receiving this rare opportunity directly from the higher forces of the universe. There's a reason why you, of all people, are reading this message right now. You were born to attract unlimited wealth and abundance. So don't let another day go by without you achieving your dreams, because the life you always wanted is just a button away. Click on the button below to get started now. If you're reading this, it's no coincidence. The divine source has chosen you to see this page because they believe in your potential to achieve greatness. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been guided here. It's by chance, by destiny, that you have this opportunity right now. This is your moment to break free from the chains of struggle and step into a life of abundance and fulfillment. You might feel like you don't have the funds to invest in this program, but remember this. The divine source has brought you here because they know you can make it happen. They see your potential and believe that you are ready for this transformation. All you need to do is take the leap of faith and trust in the process. Click on the link below and claim your divine gift today.